Well, the EPA telling people in East Palestine today that their soil is safe, but not everyone's buying it. These new soil results come on the heels of a lawsuit filed against the EPA by a nonprofit watchdog organization. Investigator Kelly Kennedy live tonight with both sides of this story. Kelly.
Well, Chris, the EPA's testing results are far different than the testing results that independent testing investigator Scott Smith has been getting. And now one nonprofit organization is trying to figure out why.
We weren't sick before. We are sick now. We have children presenting with symptoms. We have animals presenting with symptoms. This is not mass psychosis. This is not PTSD. This is a real issue and it needs to be addressed now.
Nonprofit The Government Accountability Project filed a lawsuit against the EPA in late September.
We're asking for a lot of information on dioxin testing, lab results, and on just a lot of different things that we feel like that have not been made public.
They're suing the EPA for denying to expedite their Freedom of Information Act request. Do I understand correctly that this is the first time in your organization's 46-year history that the EPA has actually denied this kind of expedited FOIA request?
That's right. That's right. That's really unusual. And by denying the fee waiver, for a lot of nonprofit agencies, that's basically like denying the request because it is so expensive. The main thing that we're concerned about is this expedited processing. We really feel like it needs to happen. There's so many sick people there that we feel like this is an imminent threat to public health.
The FOIA request and lawsuit both mention independent testing expert Scott Smith by name. I've interviewed him several times and gone out with him while he did testing in East Palestine.
We have found in approximately 30% of our testing clearly elevated dioxin levels that are above background. And we're not talking a few percentage points. We're talking about 300 to 400%.
Why do you believe that there's such a large discrepancy between your results and the results we're seeing from the EPA?
The data from the lab is accurate from both of us. The issue is the discrepancy is you can't find what you don't look for. If I am going to take samples close to ground zero at residents' request where they refuse to test, I believe if they would test the same locations as me, there wouldn't be a discrepancy.
I also spoke with EPA response coordinator Mark Durno.
Mr. Smith hasn't shared much of his data with us. I did see one sample from him that there was an elevated roadside dioxin hit.
Durno says they've asked Smith to share more data, but he hasn't. Smith says that's not true.
What do you say to residents who say like they're still feeling sick, they're still feeling these symptoms, they're skeptical, they don't believe that it's actually safe despite what your testing is telling them?
That's understandable, and we've heard those concerns ourselves since the beginning of this response, and we understand. That's one of the reasons that we've reached out to our federal public health partners to help figure out this issue.
Well, the EPA says they're not done testing yet, and they have a plan to increase testing over the next 4 months. Durno also mentioned partnering with some groups, including the National Institute of Health and the Natural Academy of Sciences. Starting in November, they'll be working to identify health-based research needs in East Palestine. Now, the EPA also said they cannot comment on pending litigation, but we'll keep you updated on that lawsuit. Reporting live, Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.